A resolution is just kind of a friendly suggestion and could be withdrawn at will.
So can an ordinance.
Not necessarily. In addition to that, we already have an ordinance addressing this. And from reading the ordinance, I find all sections are actually in accordance with the NRS. They go right along with it, including the areas of incorporation, putting it up to a vote and a ballot. And in addition, I know we're not talking about 46, but this is important. 46.160, the constitutionality, which is the grounds that we're going to repeal 46 on. If any section, clause, or phrase of this ordinance shall be declared unconstitutional by
Chairman,
court.
we're not talking about
You were
PTO
not
46. We're on,
These,
we're on item number 11. They
beg
need
your
to
pardon,
stick
these
to
two are
number 11.
intertwined. The remaining provisions of this ordinance shall continue in full force and effect.
Excuse me, but we are on item number 11, not.
But what, they're tied together.
It is his 3 minutes.
Doesn't happen.
Anyway, I'm pretty much done anyway, unless, we're already protected by the NRSs by this, unless there's some kind of a plan to perhaps change the NRS. And I prefer the force of this to be as an ordinance and not a resolution. Thank you.
Point well taken, thank you.
Go ahead here. David Richards, Pahrump resident, and I know a little bit about both of these resolutions and the ordinance as well, and I'll be back to talk about the ordinance. Quite obviously, there's a difference between a resolution and an ordinance. The most startling element being that the resolution can be repealed at the next meeting. And in fact, there's no prohibitions in violating the resolution, and so there's no reason even to bring it back at the next meeting. It can just be ignored, while an ordinance cannot. And so while I very seldom agree with Mr. Culkin, in this case, his suggestion that it be an ordinance, I think, is very relevant. Because, in part, you as a board and individually are not trusted. And the ordinance will give some satisfaction to the community that they will have an opportunity to comment when and if incorporation is attempted again. You can't deny that you went to Reno with Mr. Kohlbarger, Ms. Parker, to investigate incorporation. And that has nothing to do with the vote of the people when you're going to be suggesting that a bill draft request or some other element be submitted into another bill to allow incorporation, which happens. And you're not trusted. And the fact that you want to make it a resolution when you have an ordinance in place now only lends to the distrust that people have of this board. If you want an ordinance, create an ordinance. Don't repeal PTO 46, regardless of the questions that you have about it, until you have another ordinance in place. There's no reason that you can't have two ordinances with the same objective. And PTO 46 does not have to be repealed until this resolution is turned into an ordinance. Thank you.
George Gingell. I very seldom agree with Harley, but I think this should be made an ordinance and not a resolution because, like Dave said, nobody in this room trusts any of you up there to follow through. And especially you, Mrs. Parker. You're the one that went to Carson City or wherever you had to go to get that flunky from up north to try and put a bill resolution in. And you say you had nothing to do with this incorporation. Well, it's all on your shoulders because every time you come to a meeting, you're the only one who says something about we have to get incorporated. Well, you show me where the tax base for incorporation is. There is none in this town, except for the people out here that you could raise their taxes Maybe you can afford to have their taxes raised double or triple, but I sure in hell can't, and I don't think anybody in this audience can, and including most of you people up there. Thank you.
Dave Stevens, Pearl citizen. Vicky, don't tell me that you didn't go up to Fallon and talk to that Senator McGinnis up there. It was in the paper. Everybody in town knows about it. And you come down here lying and we're supposed to go for this incorporation thing? I thought we soft-pedaled that a long time ago. God, they paid $3,700 to get some hippie to come over here to tell us all about the corporation, only going to cost us 4%. Well, I can easily count 25 to 50% what it's going to cost the people. And the people are struggling as it is. You're not helping this town any. You're against it. Everybody knows Harley's a big bag of wind up there. I don't pay attention to you people. This is wrong what you people are doing here, trying to incorporate. It's not going to work anyway. Go ahead, but it's not going to work. You're going to prove that you're going to do it. It's all about you made war against the people of this town. And it's not right what you're doing. Even take my freedom of speech away. If you're going to take my freedom of speech away, I'd take your voting privileges away. How you like that? Huh? You people are really something. This is undoubtedly the worst town board I've ever seen in my life. And I can bring 200 people up here to prove it. You laugh, but that's fine. That's a big joke. I know I'm a big joke too sometimes. But I'm right sometimes too. Go for the people. People are struggling enough as it is. If it was an accident, you got it incorporated. The meat's falling off my fingers from not eating. I haven't, what you people are pulling here, I'm struggling. What? I can't hear you. I better shut up and get out of here. You people. I wouldn't believe you people. I wouldn't believe Jesus Christ Almighty if he was up there on this stuff. That's just the way I feel about it. I take that back.
Yeah, Bruce Colley, taxpayer. I hear Dr. Waters vote yea or nay, but I haven't heard anything said about a special election if needed or to put it on the ballot. What is this going to be, a little thing in this room where the people here just get to vote yea or nay on it and then we'll wing it, you know? So if we could put some wording in there to specify where we're going to vote on it, might be a little more clarification. We have a lawyer over there, gave him a $3,000 raise a while back, a month. He's got 300 partners in the Armstrong Teasdale law firm. I researched this when Mrs. Parker was up to McGinnis's office a little bit. There is an NRS that says the legislature can put incorporation down the people's throats whether they like it or not, and that those words are in it. And I don't have it with me tonight, but I'll be more than happy to put it in your little boxes in the town office so you can read it yourself. Evidently, Mr. Armstrong over there hasn't researched it. I find this interesting. This just happens to come up on voting day when everybody might be preoccupied. We told them. So Mrs. Parker, and Mr. Kohlbarger, and the lawyer go up to McGinnis's office, yeah, to get a bill draft request. So don't tell me, Mr. Culkin, that, oh, you can trust us. We wouldn't do anything that you wouldn't approve of. Thank you.